I think we'll get underway here. Thank you all very much for being here. Really appreciate it. It's great to see everybody on a crisp fall day here in Baltimore City. My name is Kyle Spees. I'm the Regional Vice President of Development for Conifer. Conifer is a multi-state developer, owner, manager, and builder of mixed income and affordable communities in the eastern United States. We're here today to celebrate groundbreaking for Coldspring Lane. This 100, thank you, Mr. Mayor. This 165-unit community has 67 one-bedrooms, 57 two-bedrooms, and 41 three-bedrooms. This is a true mixed-income community, with some units reserved for households making $30,000 per year, many units for those earning $55,000 and $60,000 per year as well. In addition to being truly mixed income, this is the finest example of transit-oriented development that I can think of. With gas prices what they are today, the importance of locating living spaces in proximity of public transportation cannot be overstated. And working with our community partners, we are successfully doing that here. Speaking of partners, the word of today is collaboration. While Conifer has significant experience in Maryland and in Baltimore City, we have long recognized the importance of local, valued, and experienced partners in undertaking a significant development like Coldspring. To that end, we early reached out to Park Heights Renaissance, and they have been an extremely valuable, helpful, and thoughtful partner ever since. It's my pleasure to welcome Yolanda Jiggets to the podium.
Good morning, everyone. Y'all gotta give it up a little bit harder. We up in Park Heights, baby. Good morning, good morning, good morning. And thank God today for a beautiful day. A couple days ago, I thought we were gonna be out in the rain. So again, as Kyle said, today really is about collaborative partnerships. Coming into this role at the height of a pandemic, I can't say enough about what collaboration means. And it's not I want to keep it a little real. This was a very difficult project to get to the end. To get to today, this has been a tremendous journey through a national pandemic, being new in this role, understanding the needs of the community that greeted me very early in this project, making very clear that they wanted this project to happen. So we're proud to be here today, to be a partner, again showing what it really looks like for public-private partnerships to make this happen. And so I want to start by the thank yous, of course, today. None of us can do this work alone. So first and foremost, I have to thank the PHR staff and our board of directors. They are hardworking. They may not be doing every aspect of this development project, but everything that they do contributes to our mission, which is to help the residents and stakeholders in Park Heights make Park Heights what we all know that it should be and will be, a bustling economic engine. And this is one project that sets the example for what we are looking to do more and more in Park Heights. We want to activate Park Heights. We want to see economic growth and economic opportunities. This project brings 165 affordable housing units. We just closed and opened Renaissance Row at the beginning of the year that brings 84 apartment homes. But I want to also talk about we are not in Park Heights just to build all apartment buildings, but it is a vital part of the housing strategy because, as Kyle just said, this is a diverse community. This is a large community. This is the largest urban renewal project in the state of Maryland. So we have approximately 24,000 people here in Park Heights, so we have to have multiple housing strategies. We also are looking forward to residents living here, being close to transit, which opens up the door for not only our residents here to have more accessibility to employment opportunities, but we also want to make sure that we are attracting new residents to Park Heights to really complement that diversity that we have in our community. And today, part of our priorities, I want to say out loud, focusing on is diversified housing strategies. So we're also looking to make sure we're addressing home ownership opportunities, particularly with stabilizing the residents that have been here, our legacy residents. Also making sure that we promote home ownership opportunities. So resources to get people who may live here as a stepping stone, and their next step is home ownership. So it's an ecosystem that we're trying to create today. And today we're very proud to say that this was a partnership. Our state leaders who have really poured in resources and time and technical assistance, our residents who have really been putting their voices in what needs to happen and what they wanted this project. The city, we couldn't have done this without our city partners. And we cannot say enough about our fearless councilwoman who really fought hard for this project every chance she could get, including making sure the zoning was appropriated. And our state partners, our senator is here today. The state, like I said, we can't thank our state partners enough at Department of Housing and Community Development at the state level. And we can't say enough about our partners at the local housing department who we work with all the time. I see Kelly here today and many of our partners we work with every day. So the last thing I want to talk about in this project is, every project is to bring something. In everything that we do, we're not just going to have developers come here and build. We want to make sure that they are bringing and putting something back in this community. And I'm proud to say that Conifer is a partner who believes in our priority of inclusion of minority participation in every project in Park Heights. And so I want to thank you, Conifer, for making that commitment. And we look forward to seeing our minority contractors line up at our next local hiring event to be included in this project. So again, welcome to Park Heights. Welcome to our new vision for economic growth in Park Heights. Thank you all for being here today. And I'm going to be the MC along with Kyle. And I am going to introduce next someone who needs no introduction, but is also a child of Park Heights, just like me. We are the products of Park Heights, and we are proud of it. Let's welcome our mayor today, Brandon Scott.
Good morning, everybody. It is so great to be home, as always. I was talking to our good friends at Conifer when I first got here and said that this, everything that happens in Park Heights means a lot to me personally. But this one really, really, really means a lot. My first address in my life was 2908 West Coldspring Lane, which for those of us in Park Heights means I lived in the first court, bottom left lane apartments. So my formative years were literally across the street. And we know what was here before. We appreciated the Vault Company. But with all of the things that I personally have seen here, personally having lost a friend at this corner, personally seeing the things that have happened to far too many people coming to and fro, and what the opportunity that we thought we didn't have in Park Heights in those days. And to now be here to celebrate and again see the renaissance that is happening in Park Heights right before our eyes, I want to say congratulations, but also thank you to everyone involved for believing in the renaissance, believing that we are building a bold new Park Heights. All of our partners who put their time, thoughts, and effort and people power into constructing what is going to happen behind us is something that will benefit so many people. And if you didn't know, our good Senator Antonio Hayes Senator Antonio Hayes Sr., also doubles as a realtor. And his number one job as a realtor for the last 3 years has been trying to get me to move my address back into 21215. This might do it, Tony. I don't know. I can get me back on the subway line. This might do it. EPU might go crazy about that, but I also want to give a special recognition to the Towanda Neighborhood Association for their unwavering dedication and commitment to this project, but also this community. When you have had to live what they had to go through for many years, we know that they care deeply about this community, and we appreciate them for everything that they do. Today, as you heard from Yolanda, is just another new beginning for Park Heights. This is the third development project that has been seen through and kicked off since 2020. And I'm not going to tell no secrets, but I think there's another one that will be coming very soon here in Park Heights. I am proud to uplift that this is what's happening. That vision that we saw so many moons ago when I was in high school about a master plan about how to redevelop this neighborhood is no longer just a plan sitting on the desk. It is a plan in action each and every day. This is why it's important to have that minority partnerships in the businesses. We are really serious about revitalizing our neighborhoods, especially those that have gone ignored and forgotten for far too long. This is also the first transit-oriented development in this community, and another, big thing. And another example of how we consider all the aspects in a project like this, particularly when it comes to accessibility and access. Together, we are making a difference in communities across this city, especially here in Park Heights, those in the areas that need it the most. We are creating a better and brighter future for Baltimore, but there is no place where you can see that more evident right here in Baltimore's greatest neighborhood, Park Heights, where people will now be able to live and get right on the subway, and doing it in a way that shows that Park Heights deserves what Harbor East gets, it deserves what downtown gets, what Federal Hill gets, what Canton get, and we want to thank Conifer for understanding that no matter where you're building and developing in Baltimore, that quality is deserved, and they have brought it here to Park Heights. Congratulations, everyone. I can't wait to come back as we cut the ribbon and move some people in, and maybe Senator Hayes, Councilwoman, maybe we'll be moving me in too. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mayor Scott. And next we want to, again, you see the partnerships lining up. We want to bring up and welcome our City Council President, Nick Mosby.
Good morning, everyone. Like Yolanda said, we're in Park Heights. I'm gonna say it again. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Let's wake up. All right. Now this, where we're standing here, this is what I consider a win-win situation. It's a win for the city as we are able to clean up and beautify and revitalize a really important corner. It's a win for affordable housing in our city as it provides new opportunities for folks to live, breathe, grow, and develop in a affordable, but more importantly, a residence that they can be proud in. But more importantly, this is a win for the growth of our city. When you tie those two things together, we know that through empirical data, it states that access to transit is the #1 indicator of someone's ability to escape poverty. And Mr. Mayor, when we talk about transit-oriented developments, particularly in communities like Park Heights, who for decades, it's been proven, have been disproportionately provided the access or growth that our communities desperately need, projects like this mean the world. But it's just a start. You know, this brick and mortar here provides 165 families with the sanctity of going into their pockets, taking out something that we call a metal key, putting it in a door and allowing the stress on the outside not to come into the inside, allowing that single mother to ensure that her child has a clean, a safe, and a warm place to stay, providing her upward mobility to education and workforce and new opportunities for her and her family. That is why we are standing here today. That's why developments like this make all the more sense for us to do. It's a win-win situation. And the mayor stated that we are in a renaissance. But that puts the responsibility on us today so much greater than it did years ago. You know why? Because we have the chance, Yolanda, to mess it up. We have the chance to regurgitate some of the same failed practices of development in our city that happened 30, 40, 50, 60 years ago. And the more and more acceptance and intentional action that we take to ensure that we stop concentration of poverty, to ensure that we do responsible developments for all, particularly affordable perspective, to ensure that we develop communities where commercial aspects like supermarkets can come and set up, that's the better Baltimore that we will see. That is the growth that starts with developments like this. So to the folks at Conifer, to the mayor and his leadership, to Yolanda and her leadership, to the state, this private-public partnership is a step in the right direction, not only for the neighbors of Park Heights, not only for the 65 families, but for the trajectory of the city of Baltimore. So thank you to each and every one of you who've had the opportunity to participate and pour into this development. And I look forward to, like the mayor said, coming back to an amazing ribbon cutting. Thank you.
Thank you, Council President. That was awesome. And you said something that I wanted to just chime in and watch and wait and see what Park Heights looks like, because we're not doing one strategy at a time. The next strategy that we're putting heavy emphasis on is business development. Park Heights will soon be, Mayor Scott, a Main Streets district. So we are working very diligently. At the same time that we're activating housing strategies, we're making sure that everything that a community needs is addressed. So we are looking forward to strengthening those relationships with our businesses as well. So thank you for saying that, Council President, because I almost forgot to mention that there is a lot going on to make sure that we're looking at this community from a holistic perspective. And with that, I will now welcome our Councilwoman and Vice President of the City Council. Thank you.
Thank you, Yolanda. Good morning, everyone. And what a wonderful morning this is. Thank you, Mr. Mayor and Council President Mosby and Senator Hayes, and just thank everyone that has been a partner. We can't say it enough. This is a clear example of a true partnership. And I want to just do a personal shout out for Conifer, because I know you have been working on this for many, many, many years, and you never gave up. You never walked away. And that means a lot. It means a lot to me. It means a lot to the people in this community. And talking about the people in this community, I know that they are so excited about this project, especially the Towanda community and the Coldspring community that sits on the side. And I need to mention a special name of a woman that lives, her property is right around the corner, Miss Lillian Sidnor, that has been in this community for, it's probably over 60 years, close to 60 years now. And older, very older adult, but I know she is just so, if she was here today, she would be just probably crying, because she has worked so hard for things like this and keeping this area clean, keeping people together, and you know, that's all a part of building neighborhoods. And this is going to be a piece that we're going to pick up, and I'm hoping it's going to be part of her legacy. This woman has worked so hard for many, many years, and I know everyone in the community knows Miss Lillian Sidnor. So please let this be a part of her legacy. She is a very special person in this community. Everyone are special people in this community. I again can't thank Park Heights Renaissance enough for continuing to build these partnerships throughout Park Heights. It's been a long time coming. We're on the move. I'm just so excited now that these projects in this area are really starting to push forward. There's always been conversation about this other side of Reisterstown Road. And, you know, we have the DeWanda Rec Center down the road that had a renovation and continuing to be renovated and ironing out all the kinks there. But this right here, this is just a wonderful step. And I'm here to continue to help you through the city process, and let's move forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman. The Councilwoman's been a tremendous advocate and help to us all along the way, and we're extremely thankful for that, so appreciate that. As my children have grown older, they ask me more frequently what I do. Do I design these buildings? I say, no, there's architects and engineers for that. Do I build the buildings? I say, no, there's contractors who do that. Do I make the loans? Do I provide all the money? I said, no, that's the bank's job. I said, so what do you do? I said, well, I do a lot of spreadsheets. But joking aside, I want to recognize those doers who work so diligently to create something from nothing. Soto Architecture and Urban Design is the architect here. Colliers, formerly Mazer, is our civil engineer. McGran is our energy consultant, and there's many other professionals that are involved along the way. Of course, my good friends and partners at Conifer LaChase Construction, Henry Fay, John Denman, Adrian Pinella, who have worked closely with us throughout the pre-development process, which in this case included a pandemic and very serious, somewhat debilitating construction cost volatility. From me and from all of Conifer, thank you to everyone involved in designing and building this community. This development project is heavily reliant on support from the state of Maryland, who is providing, Greg, you ready? 9% and 4% low-income housing tax credits, rental housing works funds, Baltimore Regional Neighborhood Initiative funds, creating opportunity for renewal and enterprise or core funds, Weinberg funds, and Section 811 operating support as well. That kind of commitment to transit-oriented development in a neighborhood as important as Park Heights has to start from the top. And thankfully, the Maryland legislature has prioritized mixed-income development like this. I'd like to invite Senator Antonio Hayes come to the microphone for a few words.
Good morning. Give me a chance to stretch a little bit. Maybe I'll get warm in the next couple of minutes. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Appreciate you. No, this is a great day to be here, and I don't want to prolong it, but I think Conifer rightfully chose the right partner. And partnering with the community here in Park Heights through Park Heights Renaissance and making this project possible. Greg, know that oftentimes I challenge DHCD as it relates to like the tax credits and the concentration of them in, you know, black and brown communities, but this is the right thing, providing opportunities for folks here in Park Heights. And one of the things that we could do a better job at, and I look forward to working with Conifer, I believe in this next upcoming legislative session, there's going to be a lot of talk about how we as a state invest and encourage transit-oriented development. As the council president so eloquently said, that transit-oriented development provides opportunities beyond just the housing aspect. And right now, their current policies around transit-oriented development only encourage agencies to be nice, right? But if we provide greater incentives to encourage more transit-oriented development, it could transform neighborhoods. And so thank you so much for this investment, and we look forward to even more here in Baltimore City. Thank you so much, Yolanda.
Thank you, Senator. Since 1986, the most sizable and successful affordable housing program in the United States has been the low-income housing tax credit. Tens of thousands of units have been developed in Maryland alone since the inception of the program, generating wage and property tax revenue, fueling economic revitalization, and creating jobs. We are fortunate in this state, under the Hogan administration, to have the leadership and partnership of a truly dynamic, strong, and creative housing finance agency. Maryland DHCD provided significant support to Coldspring, without which the deal simply would not have been viable. I'm pleased to ask Greg Hare from the Maryland Department of Housing and Community Development here to say a few words. Greg.
Good morning, everyone. How's it going? All right, so I do want to say first, congratulations to all of our partners, Conifer Realty, Park Heights Renaissance, the City of Baltimore, Mayor Scott, City Council President, as well as the legislature, Senator Hayes, all of your support. I think all the partners here, from the construction team, the financing team, and all of the partners who really brought together this amazing project. Now, one of the things you guys don't know is I grew up in Park Heights as well. Now, I won't name the many addresses I lived in, but it also kind of spurred a lot of why I'm in housing and community development. I think everybody has really touched on it, but the state was highly invested in this project, over $30 million. And it's not because I used to take the subway right there. It's just a coincidence. But that investment really started with Project Core, really removing blight and making clearing the ground for this project to be able to move forward. We also, as Kyle mentioned, used a really unique structure, what we call a twinning structure, combining 9% and 4% tax credits to really get a lot of efficiency as it relates to creating more units through combining these two programs. And I think, as Yolanda mentioned, it has been easy. The pandemic placed significant cost on these projects. It's been supply chain disruptions, increased cost of construction materials and labor, rising interest rates, and a lot of uncertainty. So we could talk all morning really about the challenges, but today is really not a sad story, right? It's a hero's tale of how a community kind of turns around and really fights through those things. It really is, despite those challenging issues, it's really doing something meaningful to try to improve people's lives. And so I believe Coldspring is an example of that type of project. Those possibilities that really build stable housing, it really creates economic impacts, creates jobs, and it really revitalizes communities. So I want to thank everybody again on behalf of the governor, Lieutenant Governor, and Secretary Holt. This has been a great project, and I can say as well, we're really looking forward to the ribbon cutting in the near future.
I'm not sure if it's the state or the city that's responsible for having the train come by right when we're talking about transit oriented, but that's well done, whoever did that. The success of the tax credit program is in its joining together the public sector with private investors. I want to take a moment to recognize Bank of America for their significant investments in this development. Specifically $27+ million equity investment and nearly $15 million permanent loan. Bank of America is a truly valued partner to Conifer, and I'd like to invite Nikki Ellis, their Senior Vice President, to the podium for a few words.
So I would be remiss if I did not say that I am Baltimore born and raised. I am from over east, but that train has been my connector for my past. So good morning. Again, my name is Nikki Ellis. And on behalf of all of my teammates at Bank of America, we want to simply say thank you. Thank you for allowing us to be your financing partner on this transformative project. Bank of America is providing over $52 million to this project, comprised of $27 million in construction financing, as well as $26 million in tax credit equity investment. As many of you have already may know, we have over 1,700 colleagues working across the Maryland market. We serve our clients and communities, so we truly understand the importance of affordable housing and the shortage of it across our region. Over the most recent past 5 years, from 2017 to 2021, Bank of America has provided over $216 million in loans and investments, creating over 700 affordable housing units in Baltimore. And beyond the Baltimore, thank you. And beyond the Baltimore market, we have provided financing for the creation of over 760 units of affordable housing for local residents and those who are most vulnerable in our community, which will be including our veterans and those who are at risk of homelessness. We'd like to extend a special thank you to Mayor Brandon Scott and to all of our esteemed local public officials, as well as the leadership and staff of the Maryland Department of Housing and Community Development, without whose efforts none of this would be possible. And of course, our appreciation also goes out to the members of the Park Heights Renaissance organization, as well as the Towanda Grantley Neighborhood Association, whose engagement and vision was a critical component of this new and exciting development. And finally, but certainly not least of all, we'd like to thank Kyle and the entire team of Conifer for your vision, your expertise, and your commitment to creating high quality, affordable housing communities throughout the region. We are thrilled to be your long-term partner in yet another transformative development. And we know that with the partnerships represented here today, that we will together be successful in providing safe and affordable homes for many deserving Baltimore families and individuals. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Nikki. I have the honor of addressing the audience today, but I am only one representative of a 500-plus employee organization whose every goal and effort relates to the creation and performance of high-quality, affordable housing. I want to recognize and thank all my colleagues at Conifer who have been directly or tangentially involved in Coldspring, especially Alicia Jacob, Lara Schwager, Sam Leone, Kelly McKenna, Betty Perry, Brian Ivey, Barb Claybo, and many, many more. As relates to today, I want to specifically recognize Jessica Woodward, who's probably back here somewhere, who organized and planned this entire event. Thank you very much for your efforts. Okay. Conifer is proud to work with locally based nonprofit organizations on many of its housing development projects, and from the outset of this effort, it was clear how meaningful and important this development would be to the Towanda Grantley Neighborhood Association in particular. They provided significant assistance to us in the early stages of planning, soliciting community feedback, and demonstrating support, which is so critical to our receipt of financing. I'd like to invite the Neighborhood Association's Joy Dabney up to say a few words.
And before,
Go ahead.
I'm going to ask Kyle to give me a little bit of grace and Miss Joy, because this is what I waited to the end. You might think we waited to include the community rep at the end, but that was by design, because this is what this is all about. All of the work that we do is about the community. It's about the community. It's about the community. And before I introduce Joy, I want to also talk about what that community part means. You're out here today, and just like we did at the last groundbreaking and other pre-development sites, I want to recognize our Clean and Green team, who's always out trying to beautify, transform, and activate open spaces. Even during pre-development, they have done a tremendous amount of development work, not just cleaning the community, but they are a vital partner in the redevelopment strategy in Park Heights. And what it is all about is hearing that community voice. The community's voice is everything in the process of redeveloping a community. And the Towanda Grantley Neighborhood Association is one of the strongest community associations that we have here in Park Heights. They are a leader. They're an example to other neighborhood associations. They are doing projects, and and I'm proud to also say that they have been partnering with our Clean and Green team as well to tackle some of the many challenges that we know exist in our community, in addition to leading a master plan for the Towanda Grantley area. And before she starts talking, and she may talk about this, we are also looking forward to many, many opportunities to continue to revitalize Towanda Grantley Association. And I don't know if we have a partner here from Gillis Memorial, but we're going to be looking forward to their next project also in the Towanda Grantley area. So without further ado, I want to recognize Miss Cynthia Foote, who is the president of Towanda Grantley, who couldn't make it here today. But please, please give a warm welcome to Joy Dabney.
Good morning, everyone. I guess I don't have to tell you who I am. But Towanda Grantley is our community, and the name of our organization is the Towanda Neighborhood Association. And the reason why I'm making that point is because we've been around since 1967. So we have to kind of hold on to our name. And a lot of people in our community, they like to change it to Towanda Grantley, but we can't do that. We have a lot of people that we're standing on their shoulders because they are the ones that have worked very, very hard. And all those angels are here right now because we have been through quite a bit. But to know that you work so hard to make this happen, I'm not quite as cold as I thought I was going to be. Because it's really cold. But I want to welcome Conifer, because Conifer worked with us and came to us and told us what they wanted to do and let us know exactly what they were going to do. And it was different than some of the developers that come to us because they're building it, they're funding it, and then they're going to manage it. That means that they are going to be one of our residents. They are owner in Towanda Grantley. That's different. You don't get that every day. So we really appreciated them coming to our neighborhood and cleaning up East Wabash and designing something that people can use. And I don't know if you know it, but the only word I didn't hear today is this is historic. This is something that Towanda Grantley has not seen ever. Ever, right? Am I right? Okay. So I was so glad that Yolanda let me look around and I could look at all of you and kind of, just get it all in, because this is important, and I appreciate you all being here. Of course, this is not what I had planned to say. First of all, I want to welcome everyone, and I'm just so glad that all of the partners are here today. And I want you to know that the community understands exactly what you're trying to do. And we appreciate it, and we work very hard within the system to make it work, because it's not going to work unless the people in the community are going to work hard with you. And we've done that for years now, and we know that's what we have to do. So after all of y'all go home, then the Towanda Neighborhood Association has to work with our new residents and the residents that we have here. But I just want you to know they understand what you're doing, Mayor Scott. They understand what you're doing with trying to make our communities better, but you're using equity, and that's important. When people hear that, they don't just like you anymore. They kind of love you. So thank you so much.
Well, this concludes the program, so we welcome you to continue to follow us as we turn over dirt here today. So we have some snacks here today. Please feel free to get some coffee and try to warm up. And we look forward to seeing you up here for pictures and I'm sorry. We're looking forward to folks coming on up to the front, and we will get started. Thank you, everyone.